with Herve Renard set to be unveiled as the new France Women's head coach, there's, I think, a lot of questions around availability of players. You know, we had Will Renard speaking out against Diacre, and Katoto and Diani following suit, as well as Moroni and Mbok speaking out about the sort of the regime. But you know, it's not just a change of coach. I think everything will be sort of changing behind the scenes for France now as well, especially with Nollegre out. So I think it's a time of great change for France. But the players who spoke out, their problem was very much with Corinne Diacre. You know, I think what we're actually hearing from players in France is they've got a great deal of respect for Herve Renard. So the door is automatically open to those players who ruled themselves out, as well as those players we've seen drop off in recent years, sort of Eugénie Le Sommer, Sarah Boadi, and of course Amandine Henry, who it was very much Diacre's reasoning for not calling them up. You know, but those were the frictions in this one, is very much with the coach. So, you know, I think for those players who are fit, you know, so not the Katotos or Mboks as it is at the moment, anyone who's fit, I think the door is open if you are available. So I think that's the first point. The second is, there was a lot of criticism about the regime. You know, Diacre liked a small backroom staff. She liked to be able to control all the aspects, which did sort of limit the amount of support staff she had. But we know in women's football, you've generally got less staff than you do on the men's side. But Renard is coming from a men's setup. He's so recently been to a men's World Cup. He knows sort of the size of the delegation you need. And I think what we've seen elsewhere in women's football, if you look at a couple of debutantes for this coming World Cup in Morocco and the Philippines, with, you know, Renaud Pedros, who's come from Lyon, as well as obviously the men's game, and Stasic, who is at Australia, is they know what's needed to push your teams to the sort of the upper echelons. So what we've seen with them in their respective nations now isn't just an improvement. Well, it's an improvement on the pitch, obviously, to qualify, but a lot of that has happened off the pitch and how they pushed professional standards. So I think we're also going to see something similar from Herve Renard when he comes in, that it's gonna be changing sort of what's happening off the pitch, changing the support stuff and what's in place, which I think is needed, which is what the players really do want to see to help push them into the areas of the game that they've been failing. I think that was definitely a gripe that's come out over the last sort of month and a half. So I think it's all quite good news for France, but they are in a time crunch. Renard is yet to be unveiled, but on the 7th of April they're playing Colombia, then the 11th they're playing Canada. Then it's the June window, which we generally say is the preliminary one for a World Cup squad. Obviously, the World Cup does kick off on the 20th of July, so it's not long that Renard has to evaluate the players, to get everyone in, So I think there's a lot of good things happening for France, but they are very much up against the clock.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.